Hello, everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder, path trading partners along with Bob Iacchino. So nice big gap down in Tesla today. We're watching for the close below that key level I talked about yesterday in the video based off the double divergence pattern. We definitely closed below it, coming right down to the bottom of the rotation zone on the daily chart. So we got some questions. What would we do now? When it goes this far into the move? Well, there's a couple things that we traditionally do. You have to sort of pick one and then stick with it. So depending on the different markets we look at, one thing like for a Tesla would be enter a partial position now here, and then let's say you're going short. Then this, if you were just looking to exit, then this would just be an exit because now, all right, you ran up and it closed below a sell pattern, so this would just be an exit. But for a short position, it would be establish a smaller short here, not the full position size, and because Tesla tends to fill gaps or partially fills it, on a partial gap fill back to the level we were watching for the close below, add the remainder of the position. Or secondary, if it's in your trading plan, and by the way, everybody should have a trading plan, which is how you are going to approach and trade the markets, you would just look to, if it is, well, I'm just going to wait till it gets back to my price and then I will short it there, or I'll miss the trade. So if that was your trade plan, you wouldn't do anything yet. You'd watch for a partial of this gap fill and then establish your short position there. Now, this is the same if it was a long trigger and it gapped way up. Like, let's say you are waiting for a close back here above this swing high to establish your long position, and it did this. This would then be, you would either be doing a partial long here and then waiting for the pullback, which you never got, so you'd just be riding a partial long all the way up, or you would say, I'm going to wait for a pullback to my price, which you would never got, so you would have missed that trade and just take the next one. Whatever it is, just know what goes into your trading plan and definitely have your trading plan written down ahead of time. So let's drop to the 4-hour real quick. 4 hours, so you see we might get the first cross the rotation zone unless we rapidly rally next week, which, based off the way Tesla is, might happen. Also, Thanksgiving week is a shortened week because of the holiday in the U.S. So on any rally, then the markets tend to rally going into Thanksgiving. So first level of resistance we'd be watching if we get above today's high, right around, what was today's high? The high was 359.10. So if you're above 359.10, we'd start watching to this little prior support shelf right in here, candle bodies, and this low lining up. About 345.70 would be our first level of resistance. So you could make it even 346. First level of resistance there. And then above that, we'd be watching right around 352, and then we'd be watching for the full gap fill. So those would be our key levels. The upside to the downside, if we get below 330, then the next key area of support, let me come over here. So we have this little resistance shelf and the 50. This is where I will go to these key highs and these body lows because the 50 period exponential right around there. Next key support would be about 324.50. Back to the daily. Let's check out that again. So we're almost in oversold condition. Worked off that overbought condition really quick. Key support coming in at today's low. So below today's low. Next major level based off the daily is about 315. And then since it's the end of the week, let's do a weekly wrap-up. So you see here we also have a divergence on the weekly basis. So we have a higher high. So comparing this RSI and this high of the price action. Now we have a higher high clearly, and we have a lower high in RSI. So we have a weekly divergence sell signal, and we normally expect that at least to return to the rotation zone on a weekly basis. Now keep in mind the rotation zone is going to keep moving, but right now the rotation zone is coming in about 310. We'll just call it 310. So I'd really be focusing on that 310 to 315 level as targets for an initial pullback. That's really what we have for you based off all our recap for the 4-hour daily and weekly. And by the way, it is going down. The Cybertruck reveal last night did not go so well. Let's put it that way. And they are really going outside the bounds with the Cybertruck and the broken windows and a whole bunch of things, that it just wasn't it wasn't a traditional Elon event, and I don't think the truck was received really well. So that's one of the reasons for this pullback today. So we'll have to see what they decide to come up with next week and tweet out, or if they make any changes. So you can always be prepared for the unexpected with Tesla, and keep in mind also the trial does start, pre-trial for Elon and the Unsworth insults, which I don't need to go into, will start on the 25th, and then the actual trial is the 3rd of December. So that's also the next major thing coming up, and this did not boost the stock. So we're going to have to see, with a lot of fundamental events coming out, we're going to have to really keep a close eye on this stock. We will talk to everyone later. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.